thank everyone for coming out tonight. You never know what to expect when you send invitations out and you send out emails. You never know what you're going to get. So thank goodness the Falcons has air conditioning tonight, so it'll keep it a little bit cooler for us. I'd like to thank Andy Markowski and Max Stewart for coming out tonight to say some great words about you, because being involved in New Britain politics, too far in between, they get nice words and nice things said about you. We should have did this a long time ago. I also want to thank the Falcon Clubs for agreeing to host this evening's event. For people that don't know, I was born and raised a half mile up the street on Grove Street. My dad was born and raised on Grove Street. My mom about a mile down over on Willow Street. And my brothers and I spent many a day growing up on Broad Street. My dad, my brothers, and my son played baseball for the Falcons here. We had a lot of our awards ceremonies over here. And we can talk about baseball stories maybe at the bar later on tonight which Bernacki was better, but we'll discuss that at a later time. But, growing up on Broad Street, I went to Sacred Heart School up until the 5th grade, when Mom and Dad had enough money in their pocket to realize the American dream and build their own home on the west end of town. So, we picked up the roots on Broad Street, but we never lost them. We never lost them. So that's why I think it's very important for us to make the announcement here at the Falcon Club, because it is a big ingredient about what the Bernacki family is all about. And I want to thank the Falcons again. So, yes, I'm officially announcing my candidacy for mayor of the city of New Britain. Speaking of things that are important to me, I'd like to have my wife Maria come up and join me. And my son, who finally made it, Mark, come on up. Almost couldn't wait longer.
Just little brothers.
Yeah, just unfortunately, our daughter Mary Beth is living in Italy.
Skype her in. Skype her in.
Skype her today, so she gives her best. But for anyone who's recording this, Mary Beth, we love you and we miss you very much. Come back home to us soon. I guess she's coming back in August, and hopefully Aaron will post it on Facebook or YouTube or whatever the medium is now.
Gotcha.
So we look forward to you coming back to join the campaign to help us get elected.
It's in a good place, Mark.
Yeah. Also, as Tim said, I have family members here. My mom Shirley is here. Mike and Joe. People don't know, but Pat and Roger Coyle and my aunt and uncle. My cousin John Coyle, who's here. Oh, Rick, my brother-in-law Rick, he's here too. When we start introducing people, you know you're going to miss something. But, my horse playing buddy here.
We're better on a horse than you.
But last but not least, I'd really like to thank Tim Stewart the most. I think New Britain was able to see a renaissance over the last 8 years. And it's through his strong leadership that New Britain was able to put itself back together again. When I first got involved with politics close to 30 years ago, home prices in New Britain were very stable and very competitive with our neighborhoods. But the biggest knock we always got, taxes were just too darn high. And I think with the strategy and the leadership and the vision that Mayor Stewart and the Republican team had, and I guess we could tell the secret now, since was basically we wanted to keep the taxes stable and allow the suburbs to catch up to us. And now, living in New Britain, we're a full-service city, and our taxes are even less than what they are in the suburbs. And I attribute a lot of that to Tim Stewart and his managerial ability. When you got here today, I think you got to see a lot of what Team Stewart was able to accomplish, especially on Broad Street, where we had a municipal parking lot, we have Polam Credit Union, up the street where Copper Penny used to be, we have Farmington Bank, we have a couple other buildings that went up, and we have new entrepreneurs and small business people coming downtown, coming to Broad Street. Belvedere Cafe just opened up, a fine Polish cuisine restaurant is opening up. So people are starting to believe in New Britain again.
Grand opening tomorrow night, by the way.
Okay. Grand opening is tomorrow night. But I think people see that they're realizing the vision that we have in New Britain, that we believe in the city, and they're starting to invest in the city. And I want to continue that program, again, where people have the faith and trust, because it's tough being a risk taker and an entrepreneur, because you're putting your hard dollars to risk. You're putting your house up for probably the fifth or sixth time, Rick? And we got to mortgage a house. But it's very difficult. And so for people to realize that, it says a lot about our community and about the leadership that we've had for the last 8 years. You go down the street, Carvel, ice cream plant, had the faith to open up in New Britain. And it's story after story after story. Probably knock down Pinnacle Heights. We'll get a school over there soon. I think we're on for selling that property next week. So people are starting to believe in New Britain. I think the team that we've assembled over the last 8 years has been very, very successful, and I hope to assemble a similar type of team for people that have the commitment and the drive to not only want to live here, but work here and make sure that they raise their kids here and go to school here, because New Britain is definitely the place to be. When Tim announced that he wasn't running for a fifth term, I started to get a lot of phone calls and people coming to the front counter at Sir Speedy saying, well, what are your plans? And they're basically asking the same type of questions. Some people were saying, well, why do you want to be the mayor? And other people were turning around and saying, why do you want to be the mayor? And then sometimes we all shake our heads the same way. Times are tough, and we have to make some difficult decisions along the way. But one person that told me not to run and was very emphatic about it was my mom, Shirley. And as the mayor alluded to, my dad wanted to run for mayor, but it was mom that said, no way, there's no way you're running. You got 4 boys, young boys at home, you can't run, you can't do it. But she saw through my dad, who I think ran and was elected 5 terms in New Britain, that New Britain politics can be nasty and brutal at times. And serving with Willie and Tim and Mary and Lou and a bunch of other people, Paul Carver, Pete Austin. It gets to be nasty from time to time, but I think we're all in it for the right reasons. We do care about our city. We do have a burning love for the city, and a day doesn't go by where Marie and I don't say we never regretted the fact that we chose to live here, build our home here, raise our kids here, send our kids to school here, because we believe in the city and the people that are in the city. So, we all know about the economy. Is it stagnant? Yes. Businesses are closing. People are losing their jobs. In some cases, people are losing their homes. It's a very tough time to get involved with politics. And politics in New Britain, obviously, is not for the faint-hearted. That's for sure. As Tim said, I've been involved with New Britain politics for close to 30 years now. And before the mayor asked me to get back involved in 2005, I was a lifelong Democrat. And it took a little bit, but not too long, to commit to Tim, because I saw the frustrations he had when he got elected in 2003, and he was up against 15 Democrats who had nothing to do with him, didn't want to take any of his initiatives to move things forward, and the city really was hurt because of it. So I think when I got involved, and Louis got involved, and Pete, was it you also got involved that year? Ran and we won. Yes. At least we had some Republicans on there to help Tim out, to shepherd some of the initiatives that he wanted to provide for the city, and things started to turn around for the betterment. And going forward, that's why I'm stepping forward to be mayor, because I want to continue the progress that Mayor Stewart had and Team Stewart had over these years. So, one of the things that Dwight, who's the chairman, town chairman, Dwight is also in attendance. Thanks for coming down, Dwight. They said, one of the things he asked me is, what kind of role do you think I would take as mayor, and why should people support me in my candidacy for mayor? Well, as Tim said, I was born and raised here. My parents, Maria, myself, and my kids all went to New Britain High School. We all graduated from New Britain High School. My dad, my daughter, and I graduated from CCSU. And only because CCSU didn't have an MBA program, I got my MBA from the University of Hartford. So I haven't strayed too far away from New Britain. It's really the place that we want it to be. Marie and I decided that we wanted to stay here and raise our family here, so we decided to save up some money. We built our home here. We've been in the same place on Open Drive for the last 30 years. And we volunteered for numerous organizations, as Tim said, over the years. And a lot of the people that I see here tonight, and again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing up. But a lot of you are family members, you're our friends, you're our neighbors, and in some cases, you're Search Media customers. And we're all a tight-knit community. And people from outside of town would always say, geez, New Britain is so big. It really isn't big, because once you get to talk to people, you say, oh, I didn't know you knew that person. And I think this happens to all of us here. There's no 7 degrees of separation here. We all know each other. We're all family. We're all friends here. And I think it's that camaraderie that we have in the city of New Britain that people do want to get involved again in politics, or at least take some position of supporting candidates to make sure that we turn the city around and it continues to move forward based on what Tim has done over the years and hopefully I could do in the near future. As Andy Markowski said, one of the platforms I'd be taking is obviously be a small business advocate. Because if you don't know, the federal government, or the federal economy, the state economy, and the local economy is based on small businesses. And small businesses are 20 employees or less. That's the backbone of the American economy. And we have to start catering to small businesses because those are the risk takers. Those are the people that actually do hire. And there's one thing that small business people will tell you that they don't need. One is they don't need government on their back. And 2, they want to make sure that government is out of their wallets. So if you're able to spend money, they can hire people. And the only way we're going to hire people is if we have more customers. Because guess what? Customers also need money in their pockets. So they can spend money on our products and services so we can hire. So it's one big circle. But the message in Washington and Hartford hasn't been that. It's always, well, let's tax more people because you're making out a little bit better so you can afford to take a little bit more out of your pocket. Well, it's not working, is it? I don't think it is.
No.
I think we see in Washington and Hartford that the more you take money out, the more people are leaving. And what Hartford did recently in passing the highest tax in the history of the state of Connecticut, I think we're going to see that exodus, and it's going to make our local jobs a bit more difficult to try to get these entrepreneurs in the city to invest their hard-earned dollars. But I'll be committed there, as Mayor Tim Stewart was, and if I get a phone...
It's Facebook, I'm putting it on Facebook.
What's language again? Take a picture of you or me.
He knows how to use that now. Yeah.
But I think, when people also ask me what type of attributes I have, I think I have the knowledge, the education, the experience, and the temperament to lead the city of New Britain. And if I get the same phone call that the mayor got at 2 o'clock in the morning, even though people say I'm mild-mannered, don't be surprised if on Channel 61 I might blurt out something at 2 in the morning, similar to what Tim may say. But
I'll never live that one.
So basically, to wrap it up, I believe in the city of New Britain. I believe in all my family and friends. I believe in the community. I believe in the neighborhood. And what I'm asking all of you and the people of New Britain is to believe in me. And hopefully we could all work together, work for the next 4.5 months like we've never worked before, and hopefully we could bring the victory to the city of New Britain and continue the work that Tim Stewart started, and hopefully we can progress for the next 2 years. Thank you again for coming.